Hi, Kris from the Safety of Life at Sea here. Thought I might have a look at the session file for Penny Pincher that we recorded. This isn't the fully mixed version that Steve did, but it's kind of at a point where the arrangement was together and I had been sort of getting solos in place and things like that to be ready to send to Steve for mixing. So I was going through a bunch of old hard disks and working out where to store things and all of that kind of stuff, and thought it might be an interesting one to share. One of the things I like about the way that this recording came together is that we ended up using the first demo of it.
Lord knows I'm liable to have a good time. You know I do what it takes to make sure you're all feeling fine. Times are hard, you got a lot on your mind. Pinch all the pennies you like, but don't pinch mine. Walk around feeling down on my luck, I got no.
So you hear there, that's me sitting with a Telecaster and one mic. I think it was a Royer, sort of midway between me and the amp, and I'm just singing into the room, and it's picking up some of the amp and some of me, and it's all on one track. So fun to hand that off to somebody else for mixing when they've only got one track. There's not much mixing that you can do. But you hear Steve coming in with his guitar straight at that leading the band in. And of course we've also got the bass and the drums here. I'll put them all together. The drums and the bass were recorded together here in the Boatshed. That's my studio in O'Connell in New South Wales. Guitars would have been an overdub. The vocals were definitely an overdub and a comp as well. And I can see here that I have put them through Melodyne at some point, so I won't shy away from talking about that kind of stuff. Why don't I solo a bit of vocal and we will have a listen to that.
I walk around feeling down on my luck. I got no pink carnation, got no pickup truck, just my worn-out shoes and 2 college degrees, and now I'm 30 line up pumping down in New Orleans.
So it's definitely not a glossy pop vocal. I don't know if I could sing a glossy pop vocal, but tuning software and auto-tune and all of that stuff cops a lot of flack, and it really is in just about everything. But I mean, for the sort of bluesy stuff that I use it for, and the way that I use it to not really change things or to make an audible difference, I just want to be able to use something that had the right energy. And while we're looking at vocals, I can see that I've got a track of doubles that kind of drop in and out. If I skip ahead to here, we can have a listen to what I was doing there.
Lord knows I'm liable to have a good time.
That kind of thing where there's a double and then one vocal that kind of comes forward is something I really like to do. I do that quite a lot. I think I was probably playing whirly when we were recording the rhythm section live. So bit of tambourine there. This is quite a full production, really, for us, The Safety of Life at Sea. Particularly on the new album, there's a fair few songs that were just kind of, live takes with a stereo pair of mics, or a simple, the kind of thing that you could have recorded on 4 or 8 tracks. So, what will we skip along to here? What will we talk about? I put some tambourine in that. Tony, our drummer, was out here, and we went and saw a great concert. It was Elton John playing. Had 2 percussionists And then the day after that, we set up in the studio and we just recorded all this percussion on all sorts of things for the new album. So we got triangle and tambourine and 2 tracks of claps on this one. I'll let it run from the second chorus.
Lord knows I'm liable to have a good time. You know I do what it takes to make sure you're all feeling fine. Times are hard, you got a lot on your mind. Pinch your pennies you like, don't pinch mine.
I'll stop it there. You can hear the way that the piano drops out through the chorus, and I think it doesn't do it at chorus 3 here. It drops out for that chorus. This is sort of just long enough ago that I can't remember exactly how all of that stuff was decided or why that felt right to me at the time, but it strips back to just the whirly there, and the guitar has its little line that punctuates just coming back into the verses each time. And we've only got 1 track of guitar here, so even though, I mean, thinking about it the way that I think about it, there's probably several different parts going on. This is all recorded in Mixbus, and Mixbus has a feature that lets you make layers that are, I guess, transparent, so you can pile things up. And I've used that in a few places. I can see that if I zoom in here, so Steve's got some guitar lines and then a line that comes over the top of them. And I think I probably shouldn't put words in his mouth, but he was looking for it to feel like a live guitar take, like he was standing on stage playing it. So rather than really having a whole heap of tracks and blending between them and doing those sorts of things, which we did in other songs, this one, it was like, that's the guitar track. Coming up to a bit where I stacked up a whole heap of vocals, and I did the same thing again that you can see here in these backing vocals. There's 2 vocals on the same track there. I do that a bit when I'm stacking things. Anything that's kind of just going to get the same treatment. I'll just solo 1 track of these BVs.
Got a lot of gold, never paid no rent, schooling for free. Got it early, I came late, get a dime.
And I think BB2 is probably just the same thing in the other ear.
Got a lot of gold, never paid no rent, schooling for free. Got it early, I came late, get a dime.
Sounds a bit funny listening back to that and hearing that I've chopped S's off things. I do that quite a lot. I kind of have this rule in my head that only lead vocals get to say S's. They just draw so much attention. I'll put all the vocals in and we'll listen to them all together through there.
You got a lot of gold lecturing me, when you never paid no rent, got your schooling for free. You got it early while I came late, and now you're killing time buying up all the real estate.
There's a really cool drum fill that happens after that. Let's go find that. We'll go hunting. I'll take the... Here it is. So we've got a break. I'll put the bass in as well. Always enjoy finding those sorts of moments to put into a song, and having played with Tony for so long, I think his style of drumming is something that I'm thinking about when I'm writing songs as well, so I'm looking for those kinds of moments right from the beginning. Why don't we just let it all play?
Early while I came late, and now you're killing time buying up all the real estate. You've been at the top, now you had your fill, so you're working on retire, sending me the bill. I said, hey.
One of the issues with this song was that it has 4 choruses, and it just sort of seemed like a lot. It was the same thing a lot, which I think is how we got into the idea of having the demo as the first time through it, just to hold off that sense of repetition becoming too much. So we're into a chorus there, and the bridge is kind of an instrumental or a solo here. I've got Glenn Holohan's saxophone solo here isolated, which is probably worth the price of admission alone for this video. Here's Glenn. It's a real kind of wail at the end, or it kind of chokes off or something. I love it. He came around and just had a few passes at it, and I think it might be, the first half of one pass put with the second half of another pass somewhere. I know that there was one bit where I copied a phrase that he'd played and repeated it. It happens just here somewhere. So I think that's a phrase that he played once, and I thought it just had the right kind of punch to it, so I just copied and pasted it so that it built up a little bit of repetition. And just to really ram it all home, I sang that bit as well. And I'll show you some of there's quite a rhythmic change as we're coming through all of this. Coming into the bridge, the piano kind of drives it. So kind of a Beatlesy moment there. And coming out of that into this sort of the way that we always talked about it was that it would kind of tighten up, become quite a rigid rhythmic structure at that point, and then break open for the second half of the saxophone solo. So if I put the sax in and maybe some of the percussion in as well.
Good time.
Cool. I really love that moment. I love doing backing harmonies and fleshing out chords with just voices. Stacking up voices is always great fun. Here's what those harmonies are doing. Playing with that voice leading and trying to get it to just sort of feel right, Did we get the triangle part? Couldn't not listen to the triangle part, could you? Fun. I might let everything play.
Lord knows I'm liable to have a good time. And you know I do what it takes to make sure you're all feeling fine. Times are hard, you got a lot on your mind. A pinch, oh, the pennies you like, don't pinch mine. Pinch, oh, the pennies you like, don't pinch mine.
So I was looking at this and trying to work out why I've cut some bits out of the whirly and the piano. I don't think it was a mistake. I mean, I don't think I played a mistake there. I mean, sometimes I would just drop out a mistake. I think what I was actually doing was making some room for Steve's guitar part, which kind of has this nice sort of old 60s soul vibe running through it. Let's just hear that. So it was that descending run there. I think I was just clearing some space for it. I always enjoy doing that. It seems a bit extreme to be just chopping parts out, but it really forces me to think about, what is who's the star at this moment, I guess. So getting the keys out of the way to just let the guitar do its thing was the priority. So this is the album, Let the River Go, and it's track 1, side A, Penny Pincher. We've got Tony credited with drums, tambourine, shaker, and triangle, and that was that big percussion day after seeing Elton John. And a great solo from Glenn Holohan. Glenn's local. He lives here in Bathurst, and we play with him every chance we get. He's a great player. So please let me know what you think in the comments, and if there are other songs that you'd like to get a bit of this behind the scenes look at, let me know. I'm sure we could make something like that happen. Once again, this isn't the mixed version of it that we've been listening to. This is just my arrangement, getting things ready to send off for Steve to mix. Check out the album. It's on all the streaming services to hear the finished mix, the final product. And it's at Bandcamp. We've got copies on CD and on vinyl. Again, it's the first time we've done vinyl, so that's really exciting. And now that we're out of lockdown, and hopefully we'll be getting out and playing a whole bunch of shows, we've got a few great things in the works at the moment. So hope to catch you soon if you're in Australia. And see you later.